sad occasion for us. Needless to say, having lost our young son tragically. He was just 10 years old. And he played on the 5th grade basketball team at Christ Lutheran School. And so that summer, we heard of a movement underway to organize a basketball camp, a tribute to Julius by one of his coaches. And he contacted us and said, you know, I'd like to do this in remembrance of Julius. So he got together a bunch of kids that summer in his backyard. And they had such a wonderful time. I guess there were 20 or 30 kids there that first summer. They had such a wonderful time, and it was such a joyful experience. They said, hey, let's do this again next summer. And so the second summer, they had another camp in my son's name, a tribute. And the thing started going so well, we sat down with the idea and the thought of organizing the camp formally. And so that third year, the Julius DeLoatche Summer Basketball Camp was formally organized and incorporated. But the movement began with the love and with the thoughts of our very good friend, Tommy Washington. He was Julius' coach at Christ Lutheran. And the thing I remember about him so much, Julius was a small guy, but he always gave him a chance to play. And I always loved and respected him for that. And I think that's important in life, that we give him a chance, you know, to prove that we can do something. And he was always happy to run out on the court when Coach Washington was signaling and said, hey, Julius, it's time for you to go in. Man, his heart just lit up. And to have him to start a camp in his backyard, those hot summer days in July, I don't think he ever dreamed or envisioned that 13 years later, the camp would be going so strong and would have done so much and contributed so much to the community. But that's the kind of person my friend Tommy Washington is. He loves children. He's coached for many years at Christ Lutheran, and he's always actively involved in youth groups around the city. He and his lovely wife Mary have been guests in our home. We've been guests in their home, and they are very good friends. And so he's just retired a couple of years ago, and he said, now that I'm retired and they don't keep me working such long hours in the city, I can get back involved at the camp. And so right away we put him to work and asked him to come and be our guest speaker this year. So ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to present without any further ado our guest speaker for this 13th Annual Awards Banquet Celebration, Mr. Tommy Washington. Let's give him a
Wake up, everybody. It's time for you to wake up and listen. I know they told me that I ain't got but 25 minutes, but you know, I don't see people in the church, you know, when they're there for service, checking the watch, you know, saying, I gotta get out of here. See, there's no limit on God's word when they get time to tell you what he needs to tell you. So I got 25 minutes, but it might go over 5. Okay? How you doing, Ronnie?
Good, how you doing?
All right. You see, I got 4 pieces of important paper to pass around. And I'm going to start at this table here. And I asked everybody to handle this very carefully because this goes all over the world. You know, it's part of a program that carry on to encourage and motivate young people. Not only young people, especially parents. Because you see, the young people can't do anything without the parents. You're the head of the house. wear your pants baggy, they're going to wear theirs baggy. You're going to use profanity, they're going to use profanity. See, it's all started with you. You know, in Ephesians, God said, you know, children, obey your mother and father. And he gave that with a promise that you'll have a long life. See, we from different backgrounds, you know, when I was your age. Everybody in the neighborhood, when you messed up, you got a whooping from the neighbor down the street, across the street, and then you got back home, you got another one. Everybody was your mother and father. See, but I tell you what, I've never been to jail, you know. I never disrespected the elders, you know. It's all because it's how you raised. We at a different time now, you know. They say, well, if you hit me, I'll call 911. Let me tell you young people something. My mother would be doing triple life. Triple. Because wherever you showed out at, that's where you got knocked out at. See? But I thank God today for that. My mother didn't have an opportunity to get an education like your parents. You know, so parents, don't waste that education. You know, you got a special someone that's been given to you. I remember Julius, just like the day I'm standing here, and like his father said, he was a small person. But see, Julius was my defense player. You know, it doesn't make no difference if you don't score a point. But if you can shut down that person that scores 15 points, you did your job. See, that's what Julius was. And I'd like to say to you young people here, it all starts here. The camp was free. It was free. And when something comes free, take advantage of it. And it wasn't just given to boys only. Now, you could go and they say, well, you know, so-and-so running the basketball camp. But, you know, they don't include the girls. We included the girls. It's been going on for 13 years now. You know. And one of these papers that I'm going to pass out, I'm going to go ahead and do that so we can move around, is what I'm talking about up here. You can't see that. But each and every one of you have an opportunity to glance at it. And I taught 15 years, 7th and 8th grade at Christ Confirmed Children. And those students has this paper framed, hanging on their wall, and they pass it on around to their generation, their children, because most of them are grown now. It picks you back up when you see that you're falling off, or you're not doing what you're supposed to do. It gets you back on track. This is what this is all about. It's called life. Make sure you look at it. And if you want a copy of it, Jane will have a copy for each and every one to take home, to frame it. And we also discussed that this power will be given out at the banquet to young men that attend this basketball camp from your mountain. So I'm going to start here. The second one is I'm going to pass around. This was the first year, is that correct? The first year we did the camp, it's got so noticeable here in Peoria that the mayor called us down and gave us a recommendation for doing a great job here in Peoria with young people. You know, so I like to pass that around. This was in 1999. The next one here, and I really want the parents and the young people to pay close attention to this. This is Illinois Central College women basketball team. I have a granddaughter, and she's got an area point of who she is. played on the championship team for Ridgewood. She also plays for Illinois Central College. This will be her second year there. And making all dean lists. But she's not intent to probably play in the WBA, but she's there on a scholarship. Free! Do you understand that? The all-stars here. If you do good, develop your skill, you still can go to college on a scholarship. Lord knows it's not cheap. I just sent my last one off to college. It's not cheap. The young ladies back there, good job on your dancing. Continue to do that. Because you can go to college too. Free! Anything free, take the opportunity and thank God for it. So I'm going to pass this around. In the third picture over here, it points out her again as one of the members of the team. And I want you to pay close attention to who she gives credit to. Her mother, her grandmother. The dad wasn't even mentioned. I'm looking around here, I've counted 15 young people that was here today, that was in the camp, that are here tonight. I don't see 15 dads. I'm sorry, but, believe it or not, the mother is the backbone of that family that really does the job. If you think I'm kidding, just riding down the street, you see a young lady pushing a car across the street with 2 babies and no father. And the ones that are here, I take my hat off to you. It don't include you. See, here is where young men get some kind of responsibility through the coach, through Mr. DeLoatche, through anyone that has an authority. You look in the NBA, there's a lot of players that went through the NBA without a father. See, I owe part of my life to older gentlemen that took me under their wing and showed me what life was about. And I thank God for them. So I'm going to pass this around for you to look at. And the next one I'm going to show you is that if you don't make it in basketball, get that education free. Because can't nobody take the education from you. I can tell you all day long that 1 and 1 is 3. You're going to look at me like I'm a fool, right? Y'all just can't make you understand that 1 and 1 is 3. You're not going to accept that. Why? Because you know you have the education that 1 and 1 is 2, right? Can't nobody take that from you. Learn how to count your money so no more can take your money from you. You know at McDonald's, you point your button and say cheeseburger, French fries. Come on. When I come up, if you're going to have to count, there were no calculators and all that kind of stuff. It's on the fingers so you got it up here. If you stand in line now shopping and something go wrong with that computer, Jack, you lost. The whole store got to shut down. So we still got to think about life, how to survive. The next I'm going to pass around is a labor book from Local 165. Everything in this country is built mostly on labor. I've been a laborer for 39 and a half years. I retired as a laborer. I believe in labor. So what I'm trying to tell you young people this year, don't put all your eggs in one basket. Otherwise, everybody's not in here is going to be the next Michael Jordan. Think about other things that you can make life comfortable. know. God knows. Get in the criminal justice system. Shows a lot of young men killing one another, right? It's always going to be crime. You always have a job. Nursing. We always going to get sick. You know. Make sure that when you go to college, get into something that you know that you're going to have a job in. Because all the time, you're not going to be able to play sports. You know, I'm going to pass this one out. Now I'm going to move up on the stage here, because I got to remember on the time limit there. I'm going to move up on the stage here, and I'm going to explain to you about life. Life. And we all have life. If we didn't have it, we wouldn't be here now. When you see this piece of paper come around, this was done by John Austin. I don't know whether John Austin was a Christian man, but I do know that he was inspired by God, because no one could ever in their lifetime could do this by himself. I never met John Austin, but if I did, I would take my hat off to him and say, well done, well done. I was introduced to John Austin by one of the superintendent head man at the city of Peoria. As a matter of fact, he was there the night we accepted this award for the basketball camp. John Austin said the first line up there, it says, life. Some get it and some don't. Now what did John mean about that is, he mean about you only got one time to go through this, to get it. If you go to school and you mess around and you know you play in school and your parents are there all the time, you're bugging the kids, and you're not listening, you don't go back through this a second time. You only got one time to get it. It's important to pay attention. Half of your homework is done by paying attention. You can go home and lay back if you paid attention in school. It's the same thing on the job. Your boss is not going to continue to tell you to do this and do that. You got to pay attention. Your mother and father get frustrated with you when you don't pay attention. Sure, they're your mother and father. But you also have a responsibility from God to listen. Some get it and some don't. And we see that every day. Everybody in their family got an old dude that get drunk all the time, don't they? Everybody got him. I got him in my family. You know? Because he didn't get it. Your life is your life and it's your responsibility. Your parents have given you an opportunity to be whatever you want to be. And what we're saying here, don't be the one that don't get it. The second one here said, some will, some won't. Those that do, do. And those that don't, don't. See? Simple. You know, I can remember working on bridges, 43 below zero at night. Because you know why? Because I had to make it. I had a family to feed. I had a life and a responsibility on my own, you know. And I accepted that job. I would take a job that nobody would want because I knew I would be there. See, so life is here. It's what you make of it. You know what? I'm all right. You know, I can take off and go wherever I want to go. That construction job put me well off where I'm well-being to live a comfortable life. You have to plan your life. And through the help of God, all all you guys say, what? I can do all things through God that strengthens me. But I want you to know that the devil right there at the same time trying to slap it down. It's like that little commercial, you know, with the devil on one shoulder and the angel on the other. Your coach just said there's a voice talking to you. Yes, it is a voice talking to you. And it's up to you to choose which one to tell you what is right. Satan has no power if we use Jesus' power. He's already been defeated. You have to pay attention to life. The second thing, it says, the first 10 that we're going to go through, we're going to go straight through them. Life is a gift. Don't trash it. It's a gift. It's a gift. It was a gift that God gave Julius a life. He didn't trash it. Sometimes God allows things to happen because His way is not our way. But through Julius, He has touched many lives, many young people. I know that, and I am a witness to that, because the young men that played on this team, they are all doing good. They are married with family. They are respectable businessmen, and I do know that the mercy of God, if Julius had been here, he'd been in that group too, because he was a lovely young man. Life is a gift. Don't trash it. You know what I mean by don't trash it? Watch who you run with, young people. Watch your back. Sometimes you can just be at the wrong place at the wrong time. And your mother already told you you can't do that. But you say, you know, I want to be your own boss. See, it doesn't work that way. It takes a village to raise a child. The second one, the greatest gift you have is your mind. Your mind, you know, this up here, this little thing right here is more important than a computer. You know what I'm talking about? You can remember so much and put so much into this right here. You can be a millionaire overnight if you just continue to develop this little mind right here. See, John Austin, he hit it right on the nail, you know, when he said that mind. See, if your mind tells you to go out here and shoot somebody, you ain't developing, am I right? If your mind telling you to disrespect your elders, you're not developing. Your teachers are with you more than your parents. Do you believe that? Huh? Then if they are with you, they're sitting there trying to make sure that you be number one for yourself. But at the same time, you got that little person on that shoulder saying that you ain't got to listen to them. I do what I want to do. And you'll be in that group that didn't get it too. The next one here, it says the goal in the game is to develop your talent and skill and then give it back to the world. Develop your talent, your skill. Get a lot of money, give some back. Something like this right here. You got a lot of talent, help someone that don't have a lot of talent. Do the best you can in your skill. This is why Coach got you here. This is why you come in free, is to do the best you can do. give it back to the world, you know. That's what he's doing. Giving it back to you. That's what Mr. DeLoatche is doing. Giving it back to you. This is what everyone here that donated, contributed, so that you can have an opportunity to do something with your life. The next one here says, be the most decent human being you can be. That go along with what God talks about, you know. Respect your neighbors, you know. Respect your friends, love your mother. You know, sometimes you have to, most of the time, even though you don't like your enemy, you have to love them anyway. Because it all lays on you, how you deal with you, how you understand how you are doing life and working through life. Be the most decent human being you can be, you know. That's me, you know, don't work at Spot and Steel. Don't get your job there, you know. Anybody know what Spot and Steel is? Huh? That's a spot in the daytime and still at night. And believe me, we got a lot of people that does that, you know. They don't want to work. They don't want to do anything. You know? We see it every day. That's what's wrong with society. But you have a life. You have an opportunity to grow to be what you want to be. The next one here. It said, keep your word, avoid deceit. I told Mr. DeLoatche that I would be here to be his guest speaker. And I always use this phrase, if it's the Lord's will. Because if he got another plan, ain't nothing I can do about it. But my word to him that I was going to be here. And I tell you, the old devil almost took it away from me. I was getting ready to put some linoleum down in the kitchen. And some brought the letter out and we read it, and it says, the 25th. I had planned for the 26th. So you see, God has a way for you to keep your promise. Just trust him. He has a way. The next one here is never take never take people or time for granted. And I'm sure it happened right here in this basketball camp. Otherwise, there'll be more men right here now, more young men here. Because I heard the coach say, you know, the big guys want to know how come they can't play for a coach. Am I right, coach? You know? You see, taking this time for granted. You see, never take people time or people time for granted. Because, man, it's a big job just to do good by you. You know that? It's really good to know that God pushed you to do good, you know? So, just remember, never take your mother and father for granted, you know. They're the one out there working hard to make sure that you have a chance in life. John also goes on and say, you have the freedom of choice. The freedom of choice. What a big word, freedom of choice. Do you young people believe that today? Can I get a show of hand that you believe that you have a freedom of choice? You do. You have a freedom of choice because didn't nobody make you break in Butternut Bakery and steal some bread. You did it on your own. You had the freedom not to do that. And there I go again what the coach said. See, I listen. You know, somebody telling you not to do that, not to do that. You have that freedom not to do that. Pay attention, listen. You have a freedom to get your homework and be an H2 so you can go on to college. Free. Freedom of choice, but never freedom from consequence. Otherwise, you know, when they lock you up in the big house, people so you can understand something about John Austin here. When I read this, it hit the nail on the head through my life. Because I was brought up in the South. I picked cotton, I chopped cotton, I did all of this. I remember when the bus station had white only, the water fountains had white only, the restaurant white only. You know what I'm talking about? You guys, you don't have to worry about that. And neither do I, because the people want to be ignorant back then, they'll be ignorant. You know, I thank God for every day, and that's why I value freedom. And this is why I go all over the world speaking to young people so they can understand. Don't blame nobody for your life now, because you have the choice. It goes on and says here on number 8, what works, what works. What works, works. What doesn't work, doesn't work. That means, boy, I can spend all day long working on a car engine. And if it don't start, it's not going to work. Am I right or wrong? I can just keep on working. If it doesn't start, it's just not going to work. See, so don't work on something that doesn't work. Don't go to college and pick up a major in something that you know good and well you're not going to use. You're wasting your parents' time, the money, the government money. You're wasting everybody's time, including yours. So think about what you want to do. Get into something that works. Because John Austin go on and say, what works, what doesn't work, doesn't work. And his name said, working hard on things that doesn't work will never work. And you can't make them work. So John Austin understands this. And the ninth one here, it says, every outcome is the result of a perfect design system. What Coach doing here now is a design system. If you learn what he's trying to teach you, how to make a layup, how to pass the ball, how to be a good team member, it's a design that if you carry this on in high school, grade school, college, or whatever, it's a design that you have picked up. And let's see what John Austin talked about. It said a perfect design. It's a perfect design to learn all this. And it said this system achieved that outcome. That's mean that you're going to be all right. That's everything that you do. If you work on a design pattern to benefit you, it's going to work out. And number 10, the last one here, hurt people, hurt people. You know you got people just hurt people to be hurt. They say any old thing. They do any old thing. You know, just hateful. Just don't even understand what it is about love. See, and that is the foundation of the gospel. Otherwise, I'm in the wrong place. The foundation of the gospel is love.